Can you talk about innovation and where you think the advances are happening in the research?
In research, yes. I think that very quickly we are narrowing in on targeted therapies for women who have very aggressive disease. We are beginning to, we have already, from many, many years of research, now developed the sort of intelligence to know how a cancer cell acts, divides, grows. We still don't know what causes it exactly, but we do know how certain cancers act. And therefore, the strategies that have been devised to stop the cells in their track, the anti-angiogenesis, for example, drugs which choke off the blood supply to tumors, the hormone-dependent cancers, which many of you have already heard about, those kinds of approaches. We use approaches developed out of nanotechnology. The point is that therapy, as we move along, will become much more personalized. You know, it used to be that you were given 4 or 5, there were maybe 8 or 9 drugs on the shelf in the late 70s to treat breast cancer, and everyone was treated almost alike in the clinical trials with certain kinds of chemotherapy. That won't be the case going forward at all. So I'm excited about that, but the real breakthroughs, I think, are going to come through in prevention strategies. The more information we have about genes, how they behave when they mutate, what do they do to set off the fast growth of cancer, and also what are we eating, drinking, breathing that is causing mutations in genes, if it happens, if it's exogenous, if it's something you're born with. And this year alone, we've been investing in this kind of research for well over 20 years, and this year alone we gave 1/3 of our research budget to this kind of research. So, and then we still have to look very hard at causation, and those are long, difficult studies because they require a long, long time to observe a population. We do some of those too, we invest in some of those too, and it's difficult research, but I'm convinced that within the next decade, we'll have a lot more information about prevention. It doesn't seem soon enough and fast enough. It's an imperfect science. People are different. Our DNA is different. So the issue is, how do we most cost-effectively treat people using some personalized therapy? And I think if we are smart and do it in the right way, we'll end up spending less, not more money. Does anybody want to talk about breast screening, mammography? You're probably somewhat confused because it's a question I always get. And let me tell you our position at Susan G. Komen. Last year when the Healthcare Prevention Task Force came out with their recommendations, what made us really mad is that there were no recommendations. They were confusing. No one understood what they meant, and there were no solutions or ideas attached to them.